Earlier, I spoke with Oklahoma Republican Congressman and, importantly, House Appropriations Committee Chairman Tom Cole. Take a listen. Mr. Chairman, I appreciate the time. Lots to discuss, but first things first. Do you expect the legislation required to end the federal government shutdown to pass this evening?
I believe it will. It'll be a close vote. I wish it were a little bit more bipartisan than I think it's likely to be, but pretty sure we've got the votes, got a good product, and I think people are very tired of the shutdown, so we feel good about our prospects.
It sets a January 30th deadline for finishing the remaining spending bills. By my count, that's 9. That's a lot of work to do.
It is, and a couple of really big bills. Defense, which is half of our total discretionary spending, along with the so-called Labor, Health and Human Services and Education bill, which is usually the favorite Democratic bill. So we'll put those in a package with some other bills and work in good faith with our negotiating partners on both sides of the aisle and both chambers. And we're pretty good at getting this done. The differences aren't as great as many people think. So I think we've got a good shot of doing it as long as too much bad blood didn't build up during this shutdown.
One of the powers of being chairman is setting the schedule. So set my schedule. What's it going to look like?
Well, we would hope to get the next package done before the Christmas break. But again, that depends on the mood that our colleagues on the other side of the aisle and in the other chamber are in. The Senate has shown it can get work done. I'm very appreciative of the fact they got this bill out of there with 3 appropriations bills attached to it. So they've given us the time and the runway we need. We'll get a very good start tonight. You take care of agriculture. That takes care of WIC and SNAP for some of our most vulnerable citizens. Then obviously military construction and veterans, that's pretty important, take care of our veterans. And then we'll pass the so-called ledge branch bill that actually lets Congress function, make sure that the Capitol Police are paid, and the staff up here that do all the work. So I think if we can get those going, then that sets the right stage, so to speak, to move on to the more substantive bills.
I know you can't guarantee this, Mr. Chairman, but lots of federal workers, contractors, those who receive SNAP benefits desperately want to know the answer to this. Will there be another shutdown at the end of January 2026?
I would hope not. Look, I would hope we get all our work done by then. If we can't, then I would favor doing a continuing resolution for anything that remains and going on. But the real thing would be to get the bills done, give people some certainty. We've had a lot of people out there working without paychecks. That's pretty tough on a family. They got a mortgage to pay. They got a car payment. They've got to get food on the table. And then obviously we've got very vulnerable people that are reliant on WIC and SNAP that shouldn't have to worry about where their next meal is coming from. So I think getting those things taken care of tonight hopefully will create the kind of mood that we can work together. Because for this thing to work, you've got to have bipartisan compromise on appropriations bills. Fortunately, I've got counterparts, or while we're probably we're going to differ on this tonight, I think when we go forward, they'll be anxious to get things done as well.
Mr. Chairman, do you expect a vote in December on any legislation in the House regarding extension of soon-to-expire Obamacare tax credits?
I really don't know. That's not in the jurisdiction of our committee. I think a lot will depend on what happens in the Senate. As you know, part of the agreement in the Senate was to guarantee a vote on that. You've got to get to 60. There's only 47 Democrats, so that means to have any shot, they would have to have a serious negotiation with the Republicans. I don't think they would survive as they are now, but I think a deal is possible. But again, that'll start in the Senate, and then we'll take a look at what they've done and see if something can be done over here. But again, that's well above my pay grade. Speaker will make the call about what comes up on the floor. And look, I'm pretty supportive of whatever Mike Johnson does. I think he's pretty good at solving problems.
Do you think, Mr. Chairman, those Obamacare tax credits should be extended as they are currently written? Yes or no?
No, I don't. Frankly, they're asking for $1.5 trillion of guaranteed spending over 10 years in exchange for a few weeks of open government right now. These things were meant to be, a temporary measure. They were passed during COVID. Our friends on the other side didn't use any Republican votes to pass them or fashion them. They haven't offered any substantive ideas about reform. I think, as the majority leader in the Senate indicated, and I think the president as well, we're willing to talk and negotiate. We're not willing to accept the situation as it is. There are people making up to $500,000 or $600,000 a year getting subsidies. I don't think anybody in America thinks that's very smart. If we can, again, the basic bill itself takes care of people that are up to 4 times the poverty level. So the really needy are going to get the subsidies they need. But let's look at some reforms. Right now, we're shipping out a lot of money to healthcare companies. Sometimes the beneficiaries don't even know they've got insurance. So actually, the president introduced a pretty interesting idea when he raised the subsidy. Why don't we just send the money to people and let them make the choice for themselves as to what they want to do? There's a lot of merit in that suggestion.
Oklahoma Republican, and for the context of this conversation, far more importantly, the chairman of the Appropriations Committee, Tom Cole. Mr. Cole, and Mr. Chairman, thanks so much for your time.
Major, thank you.